So right now happening on the other side of the globe is the Brand Licensing Europe 2022 Expo in London, and there is a whole bunch of different closed panels for different licensors for both the Transformers Allspark brand and the Transformers Rise of the Beast brand. Hasbro has these closed panels. We don't know much information that's happening right now, but as time progresses, some of that is going to leak out, both verbally and potentially maybe even some photos. And we're going to learn more about those two media brands in the very, very near future, so stay tuned for that. But today we also have some brand new listings. These come courtesy of the Target Computers and JT Prime 17, and this adds on to our discussion that we had just a couple days ago about some brand new Rise of the Beast listings, giving us an idea of what the price points are going to be for these Studio Series Rise of the Beast figures, as well as a continuation of yet again another character for this Transformers Studio Series WFC sub-series, aka potentially the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron video game toys. So this is exciting. Let's jump into that. We'll break down a lot of different things. So we'll start with, of course, the Transformers Generation Studio Series Deluxe War for Cybertron Cliffjumper. Now, we just reported before a Voyager class of Optimus Prime and Megatron. So those figures that originally were Deluxe classes when they were part of the Generations line, when that line first spun off, those got updates into now a Voyager price point. But it looks like we're going to be getting a Cliffjumper, and it's going to be a deluxe price point for this War for Cybertron, potentially High Moon video game series of figures. Now, Cliffjumper's already gotten a figure in the past for the Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron stuff. But this might be a revisit to that, because that old one, it had its flaws. It wasn't perfect, especially the robot mode had weird kind of articulation, skinny arms, but these big forearm pieces. Maybe they can modernize that design with the modern engineering and designers that we have today at both Hasbro and Takara Tomy. So it's going to be really cool to see them revisit that mold. And of course, that automatically means, yeah, we're going to probably see a Bumblebee from this, because those two really did share the same designs. They just pretty much had brand new different head sculpts. So they can maybe, put different weapons between them, have different weapons across all the characters and be interchangeable. And that'd be pretty cool. Again, very excited. This is, easily one of the best Transformer games of all time. And to finally be getting some updated versions of those old classic figures, hopefully even some figures of characters that have not gotten figures yet. I mean, like, we already got Soundwave, and we also got a black repaint with Sound Blaster. We got Blaster, we got Shockwave, we got Air Raid. We got so many of them, along with Optimus and the Seekers and Bumblebee and Cliffjumper and Sideswipe and Jazz, that it would just be nice to get some new characters, some new key characters that were in this game. And that'd be pretty awesome. But obviously they're going to go with, you do Cliffjumper, you're going to get a Bumblebee out of it right away. That's two figures for the price of one, with very little retooling that needs to be done. Now we got some Studio Series Rise of the Beast stuff that we're going to talk about today. So we've already covered some. What we're going to do afterwards is we're going to go over what we do know at this point. But today, let's talk about a Studio Series Deluxe class Outlaw, which is aka known as Nightbird, and a Studio Series Deluxe class Pluto, which we know is the code name for Mirage. So now we do know that both the Nightbird, that is the Skyline, and the Mirage, that is the Porsche, are both going to be Deluxe class cars. It's not too much of a surprise, but now we know 100% definitively now that we have these listings here. So that's pretty cool. What this does also tell us is we could finally fill in our chart here. So what do we do know up to this point? So we know that the Deluxe class George is going to be Bumblebee. So we have a Deluxe class Bumblebee for Studio Series. Deluxe class Titan class, which is Titan, not Titan class. Deluxe Titan is going to be a Deluxe class Air Razor. So Air Razor is going to be a Deluxe class. Deluxe class Barcelona we just talked about, which is Wheeljack, which is the VW van bus kind of thing. So that's also going to be in the deluxe price point. And now you add both Nightbird and Mirage to that mix with the other deluxes. For the Voyagers, we have Warrior, which is Rhinox. And we also have a Voyager Butch, which is Cheetor. Cheetor is going to be a deluxe class in the Rise of the Beast Studio Series. And then we fall into the leaders, and the leaders, we have leader class Oscar, which is the Scourge from the Terracons, and a leader class Cyclops, which is an Optimus Primal from the Maximals. The only one that's kind of, not accounted for right now of the characters that we do know is we have no indication yet of where Optimus Prime is in this. His code name is Alpha, the Optimus Prime, but we have no Alpha listing yet. I am going to assume he's probably going to be a Voyager class. That's just my guess. And in the case of Battletrap, we have no listings yet at all. We don't even know Battletrap's code name. We did have a whole bunch of a bunch of code names that don't have names attached to them yet. We had a code name Apollo, a code name Delta 2, which was a core class, and a code name Hydra. So those could be applied to Battletrap potentially in the future, or other non-show characters. But again, Studio Series for the movie stuff rarely does non-show characters or non-appearance characters. So they're going to definitely be someone. Maybe there's just someone missing from this list of appearance characters. Keep in mind, when the Bumblebee movie was being done and everything, we didn't know too much about that Cybertron scene, and yet all of those characters ended up getting toys ultimately in the end. We didn't know about Brawn or RC or any of those others being in the movie up until we actually saw the movie itself. So it's something that these could also be, background characters, cameo characters, quick scene characters. We will see what happens with that. But this is very exciting otherwise. A lot of really cool stuff here. And it's starting to really shape up. We're starting to learn pretty much everything that we need to know for Studio Series for Rise of the Beast. Again, this is how we are going to, as collectors, going to consume this movie. Because there is going to be a Rise of the Beast standalone toy line, but that will be gimmick-based. We already saw some of those leak out. Simplistic articulation, more gimmick-based, more just non-movie appearance characters mixed with movie character appearances, but not really something of that collector paint scheme, articulation, transformation nature that we would really want. So we're going to be consuming most of it through both Studio Series and no doubt 100%. We're going to be seeing some movie masterpieces also with Rise of the Beast. Bumblebee movie had a few, so it's pretty much a given that we're probably going to get some here too. We know that there's also going to be a Takara Tomy Hobby Expo that's going to be happening later this month, where they're also going to be revealing movie masterpieces, MPG masterpieces, along with Legacy, and of course Studio Series. So maybe in a couple days after they pretty much got everything out of their system here with the Brand Licensing Europe 2022 Expo in London with Hasbro, we might end up getting some reveals there from the Takara Tomy side of things after Hasbro has done their thing with licensors. Let me know what you think, guys. This is pretty hype otherwise. Again, I'm just looking forward to all of this. Really good stuff, and hopefully we'll be discussing this in the very near future.